In the next few months, are altcoins going to be very popular? Kyle Chase is famous in the world of crypto. In his talk, he talks about what institutional-level ETFs might and might not do for the crypto market. He also talks about some things we might not have noticed in the last 6 to 12 months that could be bad in the coming months. Also, I'd like to talk about some new listing rules that the SEC made to make it easier for businesses to file crypto ETFs. Let's also look at how Vanguard and a few other firms are now letting their clients put money into these types of goods. A lot of other news and facts about XRP are also here, but I want to start with Mr. Chase. Don't forget that this price is the gas for the whole season. They give the alts the spark they need to light up, but the scoreboard stays dark without them. Things are beginning to change now that Wall Street is on board with these new ETFs that have altcoin exposure. I believe the baskets will be very interesting. There are a lot of coins in the ETFs, right? Many people will see their work, but most likely not enough to make a big change. We altcoins need small buyers like you to get excited about them. I just said that people have less money saved and more debt than ever before. That means shops don't have as much cash on hand as they did before. I believe that's what we're seeing now. Some types of altcoins are also going through a change. There weren't any of these fun value-pushing events in the past that took money out of the environment and gave it to founders who were trying to make real things. Some of them were. A lot of people were also at work on projects that they said would make the world a better place. In the last few years, ecosystems like Pump Fund have shown up in the crypto area. Moving more slowly lately, the United States is losing a lot of money because of issues with trade and the government. It costs more than $100 billion to solve these problems now. If that's true, what does it mean for the stock market or the coin market? Does it make a difference? Rates need to drop quickly now because the line of people without jobs is getting longer. Bringing down unemployment and prices are two things the Federal Reserve is supposed to do. We are going to print more money and lower interest rates. What do you think will happen? It will be easier for people to borrow money, but they will also owe more. It's not possible to always put off paying off your bills. Now let's look at what the SEC is doing. The SEC did I agree to the general rules for filing. Because of these rules, platforms can sell ETFs based on commodities, even ones that are linked to crypto, without having to go through a long and difficult review process by the SEC before a business could go in. They had to do a 19B for process and then an S1 registration. The SEC had to vote on that product every time they looked at it to see if it was okay. It took up to 240 days to just move the date back. The SEC has now made the process easier. If that coin has a futures market, it also has a market for swaps, and you can ask for a spot product. Now, all of these spot XRP ETF applications can be taken. You don't have to wait until October, November, or even October 25th. The SEC can accept them right now if they want to. I also believe that a lot more items will be accepted. That being said, what items do well and what items do not will rest on the communities that support those goods and choose to use those currencies. However, I believe that you should keep an eye on anything that is accepted at the moment for the next a few months. Now, the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, the CFTC, and the SEC are all doing everything they can to get banks to adopt. They are making it simple for banks like JP Morgan, Vanguard, and Bank of America to do their work. Businesses in the US can now use crypto. It would save a lot of money if we didn't have to move money between trade partners and partner countries. I'm going to play this now. If you put money into Vanguard and want to buy Bitcoin ETFs, you don't need to go to a new platform. Almost every big site now has Bitcoin ETFs. We still don't know if this means a big change is coming. Vanguard did say, though, that they listen to what their clients have to say. People are talking about it. To say it again, they're slightly opening the window. Yes, they seem to have listened to what their customers wanted and want them to stay on their platform so they can do what they want. That's right. Do you agree with that? If Eric Evermore was the person I talked to for this story, we might not be seeing this if Bitcoin ETFs weren't so popular, he said. The group as a whole has about $142 billion in assets because they have been so successful. BlackRock gives about $80 billion of that. They came in $20 billion this year alone. The need doesn't even seem to be going down. That being said, there could be more Bitcoin ETFs now that the SEC is involved. Let's get this done quickly. Clients were not Vanguard is where you should be able to get these things. We're not interested, right? Their CEO said on national TV. That's either 6 or 12 months. I'm not sure what day it is. We were not interested in or going to sell those things, though, and he made that clear. At this point in time, people want these things. They are in charge of $11 trillion at Vanguard. That's a really big amount of money. About 2/5 of the world's assets are in that group, which is where 53 cents is in the US, but there are a lot of rich people who are in charge of $11 trillion because they want these things. As a customer, you should know if they can't get these things. Right. It has to be either a bank or a gym. A new bank or gym might catch your eye next to the one you're already using, so you might switch. For better service, X, Y, and Z should start giving out awards or something. right? This bank has a lot more to give than just keeping your money there. Why would you want to do that? That's how hot it was for Vanguard. They would lose if they didn't use this tech business. That's how the whole business will look. In the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of money will come into this area. This is something that I don't think many people know. Capital worth more than $100 quadrillion. That could hurt our favorite altcoins, but we don't know what. It looks like it will soon be retiring. A lot of people can now hear me. In the next few years, you should be very rich unless you make a bad choice and get ripped off, or really terrible things happen to you. Getting there was the hardest thing you've ever had to do. Keep the thing even though its value goes up. That was one of the hardest things you've ever had to do. You're almost there, though. Okay, let's talk about something else. It had 80% for more than 2 weeks. The plan worked out. A new type of coin called MTPs has been added to the XRP ledger. These were made so that developers and businesses could use them. The standards include metadata and compliance features that make it easy for providers to create and manage assets. Completely broke down. It looks like this video will be out on Thursday. If you want to learn more about this, watch that movie. It says that this means faster time to market, lower risks, and easier integration with business processes that are already in place. For the XRP record, this refers to real-world assets that are kept safe on a chain that was designed to be dependable, quick, and always able to settle. It also says that you can get the white paper here if you're interested. One of the things it says is that providers can use KYC and AML, just like banks and other businesses do. Things can be frozen or taken back if they need to. Someone or something can freeze that account if they think it is doing something that is against the rules. That's what it means to clawback. You can get that money back. Have you ever bought something on Amazon? Hey, this isn't what I ordered. You say, this is being sent back. You need to be able to get your money back. That's what it means to get clawed back. It talks about ads, information, reserving things, or bond terms, and how to safely send things to other people using trust and multi-IG. Okay, we already know that David Schwartz is quitting his job as CTO of Ripple after 13 years. The area has been making noise. This came up a lot in the stream on Tuesday. This is what David is doing. Play it for you, and I'll explain it in more depth. Wow, today had some of the most important XRP news ever. The Chief Technology Officer of Ripple, David Schwartz, said he will be quitting his job at the end of the year. After 13 years, he is leaving Ripple. He makes it clear that he's not leaving the XRP group, and he's been looking for ways to work with them more. Does this help or hurt people who own X? I've been saying for a year that this is more proof of what I already thought. XRP is going through a big change. This is more proof. The person who built and coded the XRP database is leaving their job. It's interesting how XRP is going. I'll be here longer than Evie's. I've been waiting for everyone else. That's proof. Then,